Welcome back, everybody. Now, I know it might have been a little bit of a wait, but we are back into the mastermind set for the fourth iteration of this set. What's been happening? We've had some server issues, but actually, our killer here, Metox, on the mastermind, did have a, I think it was a one map issue. So there was going to be a penalty, but then some server issues also popped up, and then the restarts are just flowing in. But anyway, we're back in on the coal tower, and we do see Alex here taking the first down. Actually, just nicely played there from Metox securing that. Um, but yeah, I guess now he gets his first pain resonance, and we can, I guess, just take it back and maybe just talk about his build because Metox does have no corrupt intervention, which I find quite brave. But instead of the corrupt, they've opted to choose the ruin. Now I believe Metox usually likes using note, so that's kind of the staple there for Mister Metox. But we do know that this set is on pretty high ping. Bleedout, the what you could say is the home country of Bloodrush League, is from the oceanic region, and Tecay is European, so you do get around 280 ping. Maybe you can make it a little bit less with exit lag, but yeah, still pretty horrible since the ping is kind of doubly delayed since it has to go back and then come back. So anyway, Metox here, we'll just camp out Alex. No real signs of any life around the hook. There's no splash marks or anything, so I guess that does mean that gens are going to pop, which is the case. We do see that gen on 11 does get completed. Oh, and another generator as well, probably on the top side as well. It seems like the main generator did get completed. So, oh, actually, 11 and 1, sorry, main and 1 got completed. Did see another survivor there working the generator at 11, but did decide to pre-lead to main, maybe scared of the ping. And actually, we do see a little bit of progress here on 4, which someone must have touched the gen since the rune activation has told us that it's regressing, and it could not possibly have been regressing for the past like 1 minute, otherwise it'd be at 0%. But Alex does hit the second stage. I think Metox is quite happy to sit here on the hill, knowing that the ruin is in this area, or just pretty much on the hill, so uncleansable for the survivors. As we'll have to see what Bleedout wants to do here. I don't think they can afford to let Alex down the hook because if you pop a 3-gen top side, you're going to be left with a 3-gen bot side. But Metox here does miss the dash onto, I think, doesn't even matter. Does miss the dash onto Felix wearing some interesting outfit. I haven't seen that before. But the successful double pull comes in, and Alex is kind of zoned away from the top side, which is where you kind of want to be going, since all the gens are popped there. But we'll take the endurance hit, and perhaps we'll make Shaq. And it does seem like he does, since Metox did kind of muck up the dashes just a little bit. So the reset will come in onto the Jake, who is in there for the double pull. And Metox again missing a double dash onto Renato. This chase should be as short as possible, but unfortunately Metox just missing those important dashes will manage to, I guess, extend the chase a little bit, but will eventually go down again, does our Renato. So put on the hook for the second time, but since he reached second, it means he will be dead. Securing the first kill at 2 generators left. And I feel like our survivors do have to put in a little bit of work here to try and meet the win condition. Sorry, not the win condition. To try and get all the gens done, because it seems like there is quite a nice setup for Metox here on the bot side. Kind of loose 4-gen, I would say, with the gen hanging at 9. Oh, I guess we do find the stealth out as well near the 4th gen, which is usually what you'd want to try and pressure here if you're the survivors, because it's optimal, I guess. It's on the edges of the gen setup, so I guess 6 hearts, unfortunately, does get found, and down on the top side, which is good. This is where you want to be going down, but I feel like Metox could have hit a 2-tap onto hearts there and maybe drag the bottom side, but it's fine. At least he's down, and you know the dashes weren't missed. So Metox here will be heading back into bottom side, which is completely understandable. We do have an injured survivor, somewhere on the map, and it does seem like the pool comes in. I would assume there's the injured survivor, and I think if I saw correctly, there was a Jake Park. So we do have an. Oh, there's not a Jake Park. Okay. So we do have, I think, 2 injured survivors up here, and the Jake probably going to be working one of those pod side gens, since he is the healthy survivor. So yeah, we did see the ace confirming that Jake is somewhere bottom side, 6 hearts. This is the one with the med kit as well, but I don't, I don't know if he's going to have enough to get a full reset from it, because we did see a very fast reset onto the Jake earlier, so it probably will make it on hearts, and that would be indicative of a sprint burst. But if he used the med kit on the Jake, then it would be likely that there's not enough left to heal. But since he got reset, I'm going to be assuming that he did have enough, as our ace does go down. This is another fresh hook, but a good death spot from JD, meaning that there's no real way for Metox to drag this to the bottom side. There was that kind of top mid hook there, or like a mid hook there, but there's no way you're making that. Agitation might not even be able to make it either, as the third pain resonance of the match does set in. So another 25% cut off one of the highest progress generators. You see the generator at 4 having the ruin sparks on it, so it has been worked. And someone has been here. I think Metox does have a little bit of a scout for the survivor, who I guess was stealthing here, because the ruin sparks would, or not. Okay, so he'll just be heading back to the hook and trying to catch out the reset here, as no doubt the survivors do want to try and play as efficient as possible. So I do guess this is going to be hearts, because probably will make it, right? So no, it is hearts. It is hearts. Okay, so nice interception here from Metox, but it wasn't soon enough, because the will make it reset did indeed come in, and hearts actually going for kind of wild vacuum there, which does pay off. Again, the survivors are on around 250 ping and above, so if you drop a pallet, there's like there's no guaranteed safety. But our J Park does actually reveal the split burst here, and will not successfully be able to make it to the window. So he's kind of zoned here again, having to play this filler pallet, and decides to greed it and see if he can do anything here. But I think due to the ping, there's not really a chance. You can see the delay there on the hold is just it's unbearable. So Jake will be going down, securing the 4th pain res, I would assume, for Metox in this mastermind set. Choosing to hook just behind main here on the 12. But our survivors do have a long time to hang, at least. Since it is the last fresh hook, it will be a full 140 seconds, so Metox cannot afford to camp this at all. So he knows, survivors know, that he has to go bot side, and he does see scratch marks actually around this gen. And Hearts is unfortunately found trying to work or stealth on this 10 gen, and seems like he will vault the pallet, and seems like a live usage coming in. Very confident pre-run there would indicate a live to me, but no way to be completely certain. I think on the loading in screen we did see live on Hearts, but I could be wrong. So Hearts will be taking the chase back to this Orman filler here, and Metox trying to get the mind game off. Kind of works out, but misses the double dash. This is very very uncharacteristic of Metox. I feel like his plays been quite consistent throughout the season, but maybe now been wearing down. I'm not sure, but that was a really easy double dash hit, and maybe it's just impatience or something. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like those kind of errors shouldn't happen. And actually, we do see the generator at Shack pop, so I'm gonna assume this is a 4K1 for Metox here, which is still quite good, above average on mastermind sets on the cold tower, I would say. But at the same time, I think it was possible, and Metox kind of should know this, that he did make a few errors, which I don't know, just the errors just add up, and yeah, I guess maybe he's thinking that the final generator might have been possible to interrupt, making a 4K2, but hey, we're still here, and it's a 4K1, which is still fantastic. But actually, Metox making yet another mistake, missing the tag onto the ace, and actually hitting the Jake on hook instead. So he will be running away pretty much scot-free for the ball, which is kind of, yeah. I feel like, again, these mistakes should not be happening on the side of Metox, but I don't know. Uh, at least he's still got this gen setup and the ruin still active. But actually a fast pull comes in onto hearts, and we do see the broken status effect, meaning it can only be second win. So he will be healthy in a short amount of time, 15 seconds around now. And actually, maybe our survivors can recuperate this situation and perhaps look for um, popping the last generator of the trial, since actually they do have quite a lot of resources to work with than compared to like 30 seconds earlier, which saw one survivor up. And now there's two survivors healthy, and the last one who is injured, but he can be stealthing topside, and feel like Ace here is probably going to be playing to reset the Jake. As this is oh no, okay, no, Jake is indeed working this 9 gen here. I feel like this is going to be his last chase, but I'm not sure what Methox is doing right now. Hello. Okay, so we're going into some kind of disconnect there. So we'll have to see what's going on there. I have to consult with the match staff, but we'll be back after a short intermission. Okay, welcome back everybody. Now, to I guess nobody's surprised, and I guess not to Meektox's surprise either. Seems like his servers he was just not connecting to his Europe servers, all the ones he usually played on. And what happened? I guess explaining why we're moving on to the unknown set. What has happened is both teams kind of agreed that we should move on. It's already been pretty much the fifth restart at this point of a single set, which is really such a big, I guess, time waste in that respect. We do have to keep up some consistency, and you know, we have to make sure that games don't go on for like multiple hours due to server issues. So I think we've gotten to an agreement that the first set will go to Bleedout. Just unfortunate that it was on the killer's side of things, so Tecay did have to forfeit the set. But at the same time, there's not really much you can do as the survivors either, because it's due to the killer, and you can't really blame it more on the survivors than on the killer. So yeah, we just given the first set to Bleedout here, and we're going into the unknown set now. We have missed a little bit of gameplay, but JD getting a very, very early down on Takeda. And I do see a pretty standard build on JD, but our survivors are also facing a penalty. So they did have a duplicate survivor the first time they loaded in, so that penalty will be applied. It will be a -2. So Ada here will actually get tapped again on the fun bus, but the blood favor will mean that no pallet save will happen, so the point tech will not be effective. As JD goes in for the break on the pallet gym, I guess maybe we can go over his add-ons, because I do like seeing the footpin cast. I think the footpin cast is one of the strongest unknown add-ons there is to use. It very much rewards you for playing unknown well, and that's the kind of add-ons you want. So we do see JD actually take the UVX injury onto Ace here. Very nicely, I guess, predicted from JD that Ace would agree to gen, since they were fighting against a regression of the dry kick. But I guess Ada here will just have to hang on the hook as JD just camps it, because usually for unknown sets, you do want to get the first kill as quickly as possible to try and keep the pressure on the survivors when you go into the 3v1. But JD here will take the M1 Deep Rune infliction onto Ada. So we do see the balanced landing usage from Ada here, but not really making it anywhere. We got this rock filler to play with, which I guess is pretty strong against the unknown. You can make some jukes on it, but however, on the ping, it really does show that the delayed vault there was just not really not optimal. So fortunately, our Ada will go down. This is a very fast kill, I would say. But considering how fast the first down was, and especially the second down with the blood favor, can't really say that survivors have done much wrong. It's just very difficult to play against the ping. JD does get a very nice tag of UBX onto Adam here, and we'll apply the eruption on this generator just before leaving, and trying to get a snipe as well into Adam, but I guess he wasn't there, so he didn't get injured from it. But I guess maybe now JD can think about the trying to lock down the generators, and I feel like he will have to commit soon to somebody. Um, those two generators that were just kicked on the top side, or from my top side, I keep on having to explain this again, but I call that the top side. Those two generators kicked on the top side. You do want to try and get the eruption off it, and it seems like there are pretty much everyone is a potential target here, as everyone's been infected by the UVX, as that bottom generator does get completed by the Minato, but in exchange, JD says, well, I'm going to take a tag for it, so let's get the UVX infection here. And I feel like, again, our survivors are in a bit of a precarious situation. They do need to get the infections off, and Adam is just pretty much immediately punished for not trying to get it off, I would say, because it's just such a vulnerable situation to be infected against an unknown. Um, you could argue that it's worse than being weak and than being injured, but there's always ways to try and get your UVX infection off if you just stealth and try and stare down the killer. You should be able to get it off eventually, but again, survivors not actually doing that. We do see Ace and Renato instead. I think they decided to reset in the background as Adam was being chased. And I guess they're splitting generators, but again, both of them are infected with UVX. So they are in a more vulnerable position than if they were not. And actually, JD going for an insane snipe here onto Ace, and it will work out as the tag and injury comes through. But unfortunately, our Ace here will go down. Even though he dodged the second UVX blast, there's just got teleported to. And again, on the ping, there's not really much you can do, especially against teleport ability, I'd say. So Ace will go onto the first hook, getting another pain resonance, and seems like JD is pretty comfortable here holding these final three generators. Even getting the tag onto Venato here, I don't even know what's going on. I feel like if I just watched this footage, I would say it's Warhack, but knowing JD, it's oh look, I'll say it's most likely not. There's a chance that it is Warhack, but let's just say it's not. It's a beautiful two tap onto Venato here, but. I guess it's just amazing shots we've seen from JD this trial, and kind of paying off since the survivors have not really decided to try and cleanse the UVX that much, instead going for the generators and heals. Again, JD pulling off these insane shots, and kind of capitalizing on that weakness from survivors. As Ace does try and dodge the UVX there, but due to the ping, it's not possible. I mean, it looked awful on the Ace's screen. We all know it. There's nothing you can do, I guess. It's just like you can't move. you can't like move separate continents by that time. So anyway, Renato will fuck the spin burst now, trying to make the shack, which he does, but takes some strange pathing and does greed the UVX shot a little bit too much, as he does just get M1 instead. So we'll teleport back to the down survivors at the fun bus here. I think if we can get a triple slug going on, which does seem to be the case since JD does get the down onto Adam here. So Ace is the only survivor up, and I'm not really sure if it's possible to actually try and get the Venato off the ground here, since the ping is such an issue. If you've ever tried like working a generator on ping, you know what I mean. If you tried vaulting on ping, you know what I mean. It's just horrid trying to get a survivor off the ground, or even just even doing a generator is horrible. You can see the pickup took a very long time compared to what normal local servers would look like, as Ace does take the UVX to the back. He does have this. Oh, I was gonna say he has the filler to work with, but the blood flavor again coming in, and we'll make sure that JD does get the UVX down there. So it'll be a 4K3. I feel like all of these survivors have been hooked already, so the Bleedout would be not as punishing. Yeah, punishing. Sorry, just trying to find the words. It wouldn't be as punishing as if they were fresh, because you'd also lose additional points there. So luckily for JD though, he does find all three survivors pretty quickly. They were in quite open spaces, but I don't think any of them tried to call away. So yeah, 4K. It'd be a 4K3, yeah. And with the penalty as well applied to TK, that would be extremely, extremely difficult win condition to try and meet as the killer side. But we'll have to see what goes on after we go into a short intermission. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Now, there will be no continuation of the unknown set, as TK have decided to forfeit the set. The win condition, it is quite fair, though the win condition would have been a 4K4 on the side of TK's killer, which is quite difficult to achieve. I wouldn't say impossible, but yeah, they decided to forfeit, and that would mean that Bria actually does win 2-0. Just yeah, a little bit unfortunate. We've come to this. A lot of sets being skipped or replayed, but yeah, it's come to 2-0 to Bleedout. So just clarification on my end and the match staff's end is a 2-0 to Bleedout over TK. So the bracket will continue from there. But we'll see you next time for the next matches, and have a safe night.